Ivano. And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Horizen Weekly Insider number 111. Today is Monday, November 8th of 2021. Thanks for joining us live here on Discord and YouTube. And please be aware that we are recording this call, so you can check your updates later in our Horizen podcast. Also, please remember to ask your questions on Menti for the team so we can answer the top three at the end. Without further ado, I'll pass the word now to Alberto to give us the engineering updates. Welcome, Alberto.
Seems like it.
Oops. Okay. Thank you, Angie. I just heard Rosario speaking, but probably was just unmute the microphone. So, okay. Between last week and today, we have finalized all the pull requests that were still open on both the Zendoo and the Sidechain SDK GitHub repositories. In particular, we have conducted the final code review of 4 PRs on Zendoo and approved and merged all of them after a couple of change requests. On the SDK side, we have also approved all the 9 remaining PRs, and we are currently merging them. So, all the pull requests currently finalized. As mentioned in the previous weekly insiders, we are also completing the update of the current SDK documentation to make it compatible with the next new release. And together with these, we are also updating the Lambda registry application for users that use it as a sidechain reference. So, because with all the changes in the SDK, it was also needed to update the code of the Lambda registry to be compatible with the final versions of the SDK. And for what regards the next delivery, and in particular on the private system side, we are continuing working with implementation for refactoring the Marlin repository. And we are currently running the benchmarks on the polycommit refactor code in order to evaluate the performances. In addition to that, we are currently working on optimizing the Poseidon circuit, and we will complete the implementation in the next few days. And in particular, this is an optimization that probably I already mentioned last week. It's related to the fact that we needed to, find a way to lower the density of the circuit, because for how it was implemented, the Poseidon gadget, there was this issue of having high density in the circuit that would have led to, longer time for providing the proof. So we worked on a fix on that seems to be very promising. Okay, on the other end, on the SDK side, we are proceeding with the implementation of the version storage, and this is something that is very useful because, it will be a performant storage with the possibility of obviously of rollbacks, and so in this way we will be able to, for example, when you have a revert in the sidechain, we will be able to restore the state in an easy way. And this will be also, the base storage implementation that is going to be used for the huge Merkle tree that we are going to use for keeping track of the UTXOs in the final version of the SDK, and also in the next one. So this is quite important part of the SDK. Okay, moving on. Another thing we are supporting is the delivery of the last ZK of the chain milestone 3. And in particular, we are currently performing the final code review of the Java code. Some changes have been requested, and we plan to address them in the next few days. And on the other hand, concerning the Rust code, everything is complete and already ready for release. The last thing I would like to mention today is that on December 1st, ZenD 2024 will be subject to the scheduled deprecation, and the new version of ZenD, version 3.0.0, also called Zendoo, will introduce, the sidechain functionality. So it's a very important, date, the 1st December, because after the deprecation, the running version of ZenD will be the Zendu protocol enabled binary. So the ZenD 3.0.0 will be released in the next few days. So all our partners, and mining pools, exchanges, third-party wallets, and so on, will be asked to upgrade. Meanwhile, we would like to remind you that a public testnet is already available, where the Zendu protocol is already active, and so if you need for any kind of, let's say, test and so on, there is a testnet that is already available. And I think that's probably all for today. Back to you, Angie.
Thank you, Alberto, for the updates. So yes, we're also planning to send out a round of notifications to our partners later this week for everyone's awareness with all the information they need for the upcoming upgrade. So we'll also be performing that. Let's continue with Vano to give us the VD and operations updates. Welcome, Vano.
Hello, everyone. Thanks, Angie. So I'm happy to announce that we have a new multi-coin exchange in our ecosystem, Let's Exchange.io, and they work similar to other multi-coin exchanges, meaning that they have both fixed and floating rates, and they source the liquidity from our ecosystem of centralized exchanges. With a significant user base, Let's Exchange adds value for our community, and I'm happy to have them aboard. Also, as of today, all of our partners are working using Zen 2.0.24, meaning they have all upgraded, and some of them are already testing a testnet build of Zendu. That's all from me for today. Back to you, Angie.
Thank you, Vano. Let's continue with Lucy for the marketing updates.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. So last week we announced our partnership with GameStation. GameStation is a decentralized multi-chain gaming launchpad and a marketplace. So we're going to explore ways to leverage each other's platform to bring innovations to the play-to-earn gaming space. So our expertise in zero knowledge and sidechain technology will help game developers to scale their product from simple games to much expensive metaverse gaming economies. So definitely an exciting partnership with a lot to look forward to. So please check out our announcement for more information. And then also tomorrow we are hosting a live AMA on our YouTube channel with Rob and Jason Kova, CEO of GameStation. So if you're curious about this, about two projects, what two projects are going to work on together, make sure that you come to the AMA tomorrow, and then it will be 3 p.m. Eastern Time or 8 p.m. UTC. And the fintechtimes.com featured Rob's commentary last week. The piece is about the use of blockchain outside of crypto, and then how the adoption of the technology could revolutionize multiple industries. So please check out and find out, Rob's view on this topic. And also, Rob's was invited to a podcast episode with the podcast called "The Veteran on the Move." The podcast features people and programs to empower veterans through entrepreneurship. So as many of you may already know that Horizen has many veterans on the team, including Rob, as an U.S. Air Force veteran. So Rob talked with the podcast host about his transition into blockchain and shared the importance of leadership and soft skills learned through military experiences, especially when facing challenging times, in his current role with Horizen. So definitely a very interesting interview. I personally strongly recommend everyone to check it out. And lastly, but not the least, I would like to officially welcome our newest member of the marketing team, James Valentine. So James is joining us as a data analyst and SEO specialist, and his job will be focusing on improving our digital performance across the board and taking us to the next level. So James, would you like to say hello to everyone and introduce yourself to the team and the community?
Yeah, hi there, all. My name's James Valentine. I'm based out of Seattle, Washington. I joined the team coming from the higher education space. I have 6 years of professional experience in digital marketing and SEO. I'm really excited to join the crypto and blockchain world here at Horizen, and really look to improve the growth on our digital platform. So really excited to be here.
Thank you, James. Welcome to the team. Very excited to have you. And then really happy to see the team, including the marketing team, growing very fast. And then also just a reminder for everyone, there are still vacancies on our job board. So please check it out, our career page, and please apply if you're interested in joining, or share it with your friends. That's it from me. Back to you, Angie.
Thank you, Lucy, and welcome, James. Next, we have Rosario for the product and engineering updates.
Everyone, good morning, good afternoon. So on the product side, we continue ensuring Zendu compatibility with our tools. Last week, we released a working test explorer to our partners for testing, and you heard Alberto mention Zendu test, that Zendu is on the testnet, available for the community to test. We also have a working explorer for test explorer for Zendu. So I'll post a link here on the chat for you to go check out at different point. I do want to highlight that this our first pass with onboarding new team members, and you've been hearing week after week new team members joining our team. So the focus was to ensure Zendu compatibility. But as we come to conclusion with the Zendu compatibility part, we will be working on making all of our tools best in class. So this goes for the Explorer, JavaScript libraries, and any other tools available out there for the Horizen ecosystem. So now let's transition to a bit highlighting some of our most important sidechain development right now, some that are public. So on the Zeni token, and I know the community is really excited about this first token launch. We concluded our first sprint and are kicking off the second sprint. And this is the initial focus was to scope it more than just a vision of us wanting to launch the first Zeni token on the Horizen network. So we've also scoped it, which is extremely aggressive, but we will be launching in a way where we are inviting community testers to launch. So let's talk a little bit of what's inclusive into the Zeni token launch. It's not only the sidechain portion, but a working wallet. And what we will be transitioning more to a web wallet in sort to make it easy for users. So the initial launching will be more of an MVP, but we will be eliciting community testers to help us along the way. So if you're interested in becoming the first tester of the Zeni sidechain, please message me, and we'll probably also have something for you to register. So please message me at Zencheck. On the ZK audit, so you heard also Alberto on the milestone 3. That's for the ZKP elements. What we are also doing on the front end is to create and explore. So we have this auditing sidechain that has ZKP elements. So we will be having an explorer to just help gather information from that ZK-fied blockchain itself. So that work has started, and we'll be ready for that. We're also in talks with Celsius on promotion and doing hackathons and things of that nature. So more to come on that, but happy to be here on this Monday. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Rosario. Let's welcome now Rob for the leadership updates and the Q&A session. Welcome, Rob.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Angie. So first of all, big welcome to both James and Yvonne. So James, you heard a quick intro here, but he is an SEO rockstar and will be adding really some big muscle to our marketing team. So super pumped for that. Yvonne, you'll get an introduction to, I believe, next week, but she will be leading our developer relations operations. So this is a big step forward for us for the foundation to now build out a dev relations team to be really educating developer users and promoting from an advocacy perspective, just developers, and just making this project much more developer friendly. And all of our products really, they flow through to that. And thanks to Lucy for pointing out that we still have vacancies. We're still hiring. Please check them out. Now, first line of business is just reiterating that the very important date that Alberto mentioned, 1st of December. So the 1st of December is when Zendu will be activated on mainnet. This is a huge step forward for us and always the first really business update that I give you guys because our eye is on the prize and this is our most important thing that we have going for us. And we have most elements of the organization pushing really hard to make this a successful hard fork. So on that note, testing has been going well. And we've also had some private testing with HackerOne, so a bounty program with HackerOne privately, where we've had thus far it's a private invite-only hackathon that's been going on, or not hackathon exactly, but just a private invite-only testing phase through HackerOne and their network of developers and white hats. And thus far, we've had 2 inputs from them, from their community of white hats. 1 bounty is being paid out. And this program itself will be made public shortly, just to expand the reach of people that can start really looking at and aggressively testing Zendu with us. We are also working on the non-technical aspects of the application plan, really. So thinking through making sure our partners are all squared away and ready. Rosario mentioned some important updates here. Number 1, compatibility for all of our tools, libraries, products. Absolutely critical to make sure that when Zendu gets activated, we don't break things on the network, we don't break products, so we don't have exchanges going down. We want to make sure that we give all of our partners adequate notice, in which we have been. The team's been doing a very good job there. But we also want to make sure that we work with them and give them tools like the Testnet Explorer so that they can make sure that the implementation gets integrated successfully. We also, just as an organization, always work on contingency plans. We always want to be paranoid, right? Only the paranoid survive. While when you have such a massive software update like we're doing, we want to make sure that we are the most paranoid people in the room and we have contingencies in place just in case something goes wrong that we don't foresee, right? We're really red teaming this or war gaming it like crazy. So thus far, this has been the most attention we've ever put into a hard fork update, but it warrants it because the sophistication of what we're going to mainnet with really is orders of magnitude higher than anything that we've done thus far. That said, planning is always a good thing, and this includes coordinating support with key infrastructure partners. Just as a simple example, making sure that we have overwhelmingly friendly hash rate pointed to the right network when we go live. So things like this are absolutely critical, and we are working a lot behind the scenes on making sure it's successful. Now, the one thing that Alberto mentioned I just want to highlight is focus has been recently on the C sidechain withdrawal, CSW feature for the pre-lattice SDKs, in particular for this SDK fast that we're looking to release along with Zendu. And the idea here is that we can't really encourage real money to go into sidechains without a tool that makes or helps people get their funds out in case something goes wrong. So we know from testnet, from just operating sidechains ourselves with our own team, it's possible for sidechains to get seized if something goes wrong with them, or if the network goes down, or whatever happens, whatever contingency happens, we want to make sure that people will always be able to get their funds out of their sidechain. So this is why this has been a big focus for us on getting this SDK to market along with Zendu. Lucy mentioned I'm doing an AMA with GameStation's founder and CEO, Jason Kovar, tomorrow. So I'm pretty pumped for this one. Hint is that he and I are actually outside of crypto. So before we got involved in the crypto world together, we were friends. So it's going to be fun doing this AMA with him. And finally, I am going to sound boring, just reinforcing the end of year priorities. Keep doing this just so that you guys know that we are being focused, but also you as the community know what we're focusing on, and we make sure that we're not losing sight of that. Number one, the big thing that I just keep on foot stomping, Zendu to mainnet. Now we've finally announced a specific date, December 1st, just coinciding exactly with the day of deprecation. Everything is green lighted right now. Compatibility for tools, libraries, apps, Block Explorer, Sphere by Horizen, Rosetta. Rosetta is the integration with Coinbase, Zencash.js, documentation. All of this stuff needs to be done. And Rosario made a really great point about, as we've been onboarding new teams of developers, we've been having them focus on really the whole suite of these tools. And they've been doing a fantastic job to the point where we have high confidence that we're going to be ready for this hard fork, and that's why we just announced the date. But these resources now will be rotated to some other projects. Some of these other projects going down the list, ZendyChain. This is our fun little first token issuance project that will still be on testnet. Just want to make sure you guys are aware of that, and all of the accompanying infrastructure that goes with this, like really big thing, right? So if we're going to be issuing tokens on a sidechain, we want to make sure that people can actually a user interface so they can see their tokens, take receipt of their tokens, not have to use command line tools for everything. So that's a big project. This project, the point of it is to, for the first time, be able to issue tokens in our ecosystem. So this is a really big deal. It is enabled with Zendu, the Zendu protocol. We're still going to keep this on testnet because we want to be conservative with how we go forward with this. And especially because we know that there's just kind of token crazes out there with speculation. So we want to make sure that what we're going with here is fully vetted. We make sure that the sidechain itself is working properly. The tools that are going live with it are working properly. Once we have high confidence here, we're going to have select community testing and then select community giveaways for appreciation and just, big thank you for all the support certain community members have been giving this project over the years. Then we're going to be looking to make this our flagship tokenization platform that we're going to be working on in Q1. All right, so I'm not saying we're going to have the testnet platform itself just go to mainnet, but we're going to then from there use that as a baseline to now develop the ultimate tokenization platform. And Alberto mentioned ZK Audit again. This POC complete is a really big deal for the ecosystem. We have probably one of our most fascinating use cases, working with Celsius, the Celsius network, as our customer on this project and requirements advocate. But ZK Audit goes much further than that. This is just such a great use case for zero knowledge proofs to do something absolutely fundamental, like a real economic purpose audit on chain using zero knowledge. And the SDK Fast that we're working on that Alberto mentioned is one of these other big priorities that we're staying focused on to get this to market with Zendu. You guys have heard us talk about the Board Ape Yacht Club token launch that Horizen Labs is working on. This is an important element where big parts of our organization are working to make that a major success. And then we do have this other kind of still mystery project that I've been hinting at every time that we talk about it. But basically, a zero knowledge ID products or project with another big crypto or blockchain partner with then a banking partner. And finally, let me just give a shout out to Shira, who puts together a weekly competitive review for the team internally. This is great to be able to see where the industry is going. So not just being like ostriches with our heads in the sand, where we think we know what the industry should do, but actually pay attention to what the industry is really doing. And certainly helps out with our just better strategic thinking when we know what's going on out there. So we can really understand where do we fit in, how can we add value, how can we really kind of dominate certain segments of the industry. And I could say it feels like when you get these reports, it certainly feels like the industry is racing ahead of us. And maybe some community members might feel this every now and then, where it just seems like the news is nuts. If you just read Crypto Panic every day and you just get this RSS feed of news, it's crazy what's going on, right? There's so much going on every single day. It feels like a mad race, and it could be a little discouraging in some way. But what I will say, it is true in one way. We are falling behind. We have been in some way. But on the other hand, it's actually just a feeling. And things are very nonlinear in this industry. And we've been investing very deliberately on making sure that we have long run, like very strong competitive advantage in the long run. And that's what we've been doing. That's exactly what Zendu is going to give us when we go to market. So there's two ways that we're accelerating what we're doing, just so that people don't get discouraged when they see all of the other activity that's going on out there. Number one, org building, organization building, hiring, building teams. We've been doing this, quite well. And Rosario again mentioned teams onboarding on the product and the engineering sides. We've been constantly hiring now for the better part, really for a full year. And the results are phenomenal. And these teams have been spun up, especially with the New York office that's brand new, and then bolstering the engineers and team in Milan. We have significantly more capacity to deliver now than we ever have in our history. And some of the onboarding processes, we're really just catching up on things we've known for a while we needed to catch up on, just in terms of like libraries and dependency tools. A lot of that work has been done, and these teams are going to be rotating to other projects, like big ones like the Zenny project and web wallets and things like that. And then from there, we're going to be working with more partners and getting sidechains out there to market. Now, that's great. Building out our capacity as an organization to deliver is absolutely necessary, but it's not enough, right? So it's necessary, but not sufficient to be successful here. The big thing is opening up the ecosystem. So if we're going to rely on Horizen Labs or the foundation, everything, serially ourselves, it's just not going to work. There's no way we're ever going to catch up, and there's no way we're going to miraculous. The way that we do this and the way that other projects have really done it, and if you take Solana as an example of just massive growth over the last year alone, was because they opened the ecosystem. So we know that this is the path that we've known for a while, from the beginning. We knew that this was the path we had to be on. And this is why we chose working on the sidechain architecture, the sidechain platform, and why we chose to do, and why we focus all of our resources on success. It's about opening up the ecosystem and doing it in a way that massively scales and is sustainable long run. That's low cost for users and completely flexible for developers. Right, so we think that we have a very compelling offering here, and we're going to have a series of products that get released on top of it. But it's all about getting tools and empowering other people to build in the ecosystem. And again, this is one of those kind of flick on the switch moments for projects. And we are following some other projects here, again, like Solana doing this, Cardano doing this, Ethereum being one of the first to. But it is a big model that is open up their ecosystem, and they have available for people to build on their own. Things accelerate, and they accelerate fast, and growth is non-linear. So I just want to put this out there. We have had this exact vision for years now, and it's finally coming to fruition with Zendu going live on 1 December. Now, again, just to temper the interoperability protocol, it's like the Cosmos ecosystem launching the protocol. That's not sufficient in itself either. It's a key enabling technology that makes things possible to build in their ecosystem. This is what Zendu gives for us. It's probably closest analogy is IBC in the Cosmos ecosystem. From here, we are going to be racing to build products and tools, SDKs, blockchains, tokenization platforms, a whole suite of things that are absolutely necessary and critical for just modern blockchain ecosystem. So anyway, just to wrap up, the pace of our delivery is going to be accelerating significantly from both just the internal team building that we have been now in place and still team build out, but most importantly from opening up the ecosystem. And this is happening very soon. I'll stop here, guys.
Thank you, Rob. And also thanks everybody for contributing with your questions. So we have a couple of ties, and let's see. The first one is, what are your plans for marketing with Zendu?
Well, that's a great question. I have some ideas, but maybe we should have the marketing expert jump on with that one.
Yeah, I was gonna jump in. Well, there are a lot of moving pieces on different sub areas of marketing. So with our recent growth of the marketing team, we are ramping up these activities. We are working on creating and distributing a lot more content about Horizen through different channels, both targeted to specific audience or to a wider and general blockchain audience. So we are working with blockchain influencers and all partners to promote Zendu and Horizen. And you will also see major changes on our website, coincide with the mainnet launch. Messaging on the new website will be more focused and better explains and features what we do and what we are. And we will also be opening up the bug bounty program for Zendu with HackerOne in order to engage with our existing developer community and bring in more developers to try out and test Zendu. On the community level, I know Michael is planning on a virtual launch party to celebrate with everyone for the mainnet launch. So I know we have a list of events that we are going to participate. So a lot of things that are happening. Where publicly and also behind the scene as well. But I think in the next few months we will see a lot of Horizen updates and news on the internet.
Awesome. The second question is, are you in talks with other NFT partners?
Sorry, Lucy, did you have something else to add there?
Oh no, I was just gonna say maybe Rob, sounded like you would like to add something to this question.
You guys know me. I'll just jump to the one about you guys know me that I love to spill the beans, but I'm always or often handcuffed to the point where obviously we don't want to leak information on projects or potential partners before they are actual partners or actual clients. But what I can say is by working from the Horizen Labs perspective, when that announcement went out that we're working with the Bored Ape Yacht Club, we have been getting a lot of interest to work with us as well. And there are some really interesting directions that the BD team is going with that interest. So more forthcoming. Sorry, I can't.
Oh, Rob, I think we lost you. Yeah,
I'm here.
Oh,
Sorry,
great.
Can you guys hear me or no? Oh yeah, I was done done answering that question. What's the third one we have in?
Awesome. So the next one is, are you in talks with other NFT partners?
Oh, that was the second question, right? What's after that?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. The next one is, do you know the first game that will be available on Horizen through GameStation?
That's a good one. Actually, maybe Vano. I don't know if we have that information yet, but Vano, if there's something that you want to say on that, please go ahead.
I don't think we have any specific names yet that can be publicized, but I guess we will have soon.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, that was going to be my answer as well. So I think that's all we can say at this point, but we're obviously super pumped for that relationship.
Awesome. And the fourth question, final one is, will Horizen issue NFTs like Zenny NFTs?
So what I can say definitely is we will have NFT capabilities of ecosystem where this starts with the tokenization platform that we're building now with Zenny on testnet, and then getting that to a production grade tokenization platform early next year. That's where we're going to have all sorts of digital assets are issued, whether they're fungible or non-fungible tokens. I'm not going to jump the gun yet and give a date on when we're going to have an NFT specification done, but just the ability to issue tokens is going to be really the first thing that we do, because we know that a modern blockchain ecosystem needs tokenization. You need it. Right? It's just one of those foundational things that we have to do. NFTs will be part of that. Probably not the first one. Obviously, with Zenny, with the Zenny token, it's going to be fungible. But then from there, we look at NFTs afterwards.
Awesome. So those were the top 4 questions. Thank you, everyone, for contributing with them each and every week. So that's it. Thank you for joining us here live at our weekly Insider. We'll see you all next Monday for the latest Horizen updates. Have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. And I apologize for my internet going in and out. I didn't realize you guys were only catching snippets. I guess that keeps it more mysterious. Anyway, bye, guys.
He was afraid that you're going to spill beans.
Exactly. Someone was DDoSing me.
Thank you, everyone.